gondola very close to the Excel Center where we met, and we were able to kind of have a few views that were kind of cool. A few people were able to tour London, etc. But the bottom line is the conference itself was held at an event that's huge, mega facility in East London, and called the Excel Center. And we had over 8,000 people in attendance. And by the way, I forgot to put a slide in here about the next event. So if you can, Andrea, just write down the date, find that date. So I'm just looking at this. I want to make sure everyone knows the next event. It's going to be in Houston, I believe, this coming summer, and they're expecting 12 to 15,000 people. There's no doubt in my mind it's going to be huge. And so it's really worthwhile for you to come.
I can get the link to that event if you want, Roy, and post it in the chat.
Okay, perfect. And there's a few things that we want to make sure we highlight that next event. And so just in a few minutes we'll get that up. But I wanted to introduce to you a very, very good friend, and for many reasons. Of course, business connections. Andrea is in life insurance, and so is Ralph Gardner. And Ralph phoned, I think, about last October and told Andrea about this I Am Academy thing. And quite honestly, I wasn't interested, partly because I was exhausted and I couldn't even imagine finding enough time, but also because of some disappointing experiences from the past. And I thought, you know what, no. But eventually, when I was able to carve out a little bit of time, I started doing a little bit of trading and talked to Ralph. Ralph was able to really encourage me a lot as to this being completely different than anything we ever looked at. When you look at any network opportunity, you have a product that you're trying to sell people on, that they need to buy a coffee or they need to buy a skincare or some kind of product that people need. It ends up being a net expense in their life. And then you try to explain to them, but if you promote this, you can make money too. And this is the first time where we could look at a product honestly and say, this all by itself is good enough if that's all you want. The idea is having a product that actually teaches people how to make money with their own money. And so Ralph encouraged me and helped me a lot. And also Ralph is a fantastic upline leader. A number of you met Ralph because I did the three-way call with you. And there's been more than one occasion where I introduced Ralph very quickly, and an hour later the person was a member, and I just had a coffee listening to the whole thing. Ralph is a fantastic person, a father of 4 kids, married, and super busy. No one on this phone is busier than Ralph, and yet Ralph has found time to help us. And Ralph was at the event with a whole bunch of people. And Ralph, I just wanted to say thank you, introduce you, and if you could share with us some of the key takeaways you had at the London event, and that would be awesome, because I believe that different people have different perspective. You're slightly younger than me, so I'm sure you have a different perspective as to what you saw as well. Thank you, Ralph, for joining us tonight. Thanks for inviting Andrea and I, and we'll just give some time to you now as you share with us.
Oh, well, thank you, Roy. That was a glowing introduction there. Can everybody hear me?
Yes, we can, yes.
Awesome. Well, the truth is that Andrea and Roy have been people that have been very dear to me for quite some time now. And I just absolutely love working with them. And I think we could all agree that we're very blessed to have them kind of in our corner. And they bring a lot of experience to any business that they join. They've got a lot of business experience, but I think all of us who know them well know that at their core, they just really care about people, and your own personal interests will always be at the forefront of their mind and their heart when they're working with you, and in any decisions that they make. And that's really rare to find. And so I'm just really thankful for you guys as well. So to kind of just, go into my experience at the event, guys, I'm not really one to personally, I guess, love a ton of hype or really get carried away in hype. I think it's great when people have, really powerful emotional experiences. And of course, there was a lot of energy in the room. And that was an incredible experience. But really, what I was looking for was definitely deeper than just hype. And I'm sure we've all been a part of organizations in the past where, we could agree that leadership has been great, and that's awesome to see. But to be quite honest, I expected good leadership. I expected that some of the best people are part of this, and that from the people at the top, there's honesty and integrity and all of those good things that that we expect to see. And so none of that was really a surprise to me. But it was the very first day, because it was a 2-day event. It was the very first day, and they kept bringing individuals up for a little talk. And to get 5 or 6 minutes on that stage, you had to be making a minimum of $25,000 a month US. They brought some of the others up on stage, but it was only ever in a massive group. The group of people earning $10,000 a month was, I don't know, it looked like it was over 100 people. It had a huge stage, just packed. Like they couldn't even hardly move around. And these were all people that had reached that rank of $10,000 a month in the last 5 months since the last event. So it wasn't everybody in the company that's making that much. But to get any time on the stage to say a word or give a little thought, you had to be making at least 25 grand a month. And what absolutely shocked me was that most of the people in that position were either fairly new to business or network marketing in general, and they had only been in the company for 2 years or less. And it just kept blowing my mind. There was probably 10 or 15 people that walked across that stage the first day and gave a quick little talk. Some of them making 50 grand a month, some of them 100, some of them 250. There was a couple gentlemen making 500 grand a month. Crazy, crazy, crazy numbers, but nobody had been in the company longer than 3 years. And I just sat there, and as I listened to them speak, it just really hit me that it's not that these people are exceptional. It's not that they're better than us in really any way. It's just that the opportunity is that good. And so if you've ever looked at, a binary comp plan or what's typical in the industry and compared it to this, you'll see that there's some real advantage on that front. But really at the heart of everything that I saw was the love for trading. Aside from making crazy money from the networking side, it was just a genuine love for trading from everybody there. And the people who got the most, I guess, energy from the crowd and the most cheering were the traders. I mean, when they come up there, it was just like everybody knew them. And there was a lot of noise and a lot of energy. And it was a really great thing to see. So I would say all in all, there was a lot of belief that was built at the event that I would say that's probably normal, but I think in this case, it was just exceptional. Everyone who went, I feel, was really inspired with a belief that they can not only achieve what their goals were, but that maybe their goals were too small. So I guess there's a ton of different things that I could kind of say about what we heard. We listened to Bob Proctor. If you don't know him, go to Audible and grab The Art of Living. It's one of his books that I highly recommend. Of course, he recommends Think and Grow Rich, but we also got to hear from the world's most cash wealthy billionaire. He's not the richest billionaire, but he's the most cash wealthy billionaire. And his name was Seth Bernstein. And, he just really spoke on the power of grit and never giving up. And I'm not sure if it was him, but somebody said, and I really love this statement, that if you're not willing to sacrifice for your dreams will be sacrificed. And that just really resonated and hit home. And I'm just really excited for the group of people that we get to work with and our organization. And I'm believing for some really big things for all of us. And so, Roy, if there was anything else you had kind of wanted me to speak on, feel free to I guess remind me here.
I'll probably think of it in about 2 minutes. But anyway, yeah, Ralph is, yeah, just had a great team of people there. I'm not too sure you had with your team how many, but lots of people on your team that I met that are also people that happen to be on our team. And it was great meeting people that we hadn't met yet that are part of our team. And one of the things I've decided is that we want to work together to help everyone to achieve whatever kind of success they want, whether you want to achieve success in trading and that's your deal and that's it, or if you want to also achieve success in building a team, either and both is fantastic. So thanks very much, Ralph. Really appreciate your input and your leadership. And I know we're all going to hear much more from Ralph as well. So just a few things for me. You know, and maybe Ralph, as I'm going through this, you might think of something else. So please feel free to add comment as well. But one of the people they introduced at the event was the person that did the rebranding for the company. And they hired a top-notch person who is in the industry to take companies that are at a certain level, that are sort of stagnant at that level, work with them to rebrand them, and then cause incredible growth. So that rebranding happened over the last 6 months. And some of us were in between, you know, where they had the old website moving to the new and everything else. We're almost totally transitioned to the new. And all I can say is this guy is brilliant. And one of the things he said, which was kind of obvious because when you looked at the crowd, a few of us a little bit older, that's all I'll say, just, you know, above 40. And the crowd is like mostly 30 and under, 8,000 people, and mostly visible minorities. I guess I was the visible minority. So the variety of people and the numbers of young people was really, really impressive. I already knew that was going to be there. And I was thinking all this time, what I'm going to do is think of a way to reach the young generation. I'm thinking about my kids and stuff, and they're used to saying no to me, right? So, and it dawned on me as this guy was speaking that I've got a completely wrong mindset. And this guy said, what we're going to do over the next year is we're going to focus on the people that are not in this room. And he said, who is unrepresented in this room? Underrepresented is women, Gen Xers, and boomers. And well, I'm a boomer. I'm the last end of the boomers and stuff. And I thought, he says, what we need to do is figure out a marketing strategy to fill this room with the other people that need the IM Academy just as much as those of you who are in this room. And so he showed a new promo video that's coming out soon, and it was great. But this was my radical key thought that I came away with, is I was thinking in the wrong way, that I need to figure out a way, along with many of you, of reaching people of our generation and tweaking the program slightly to make it fit better or work better for those of us who are, as we say, boomers or Gen Xers, however you want to call it. And there's nothing wrong with, as we're being successful, that our kids are going to jump on board. But let's face it, you know, we have a lot of friends, all of us, who have gone through similar experiences of trying this and trying that. It didn't work out. I don't want to do that again. Everything else. And I just believe that we're going to be able to find a way to message the IM Academy opportunity to reach those of us who maybe have been burned a few times or disappointed a few times, and find a way to introduce IM Academy so that it's more palatable as initially an opportunity to learn a skill that you can take with you for the rest of your life, to generate some additional income. And after people realize how fantastic IM Academy is, they are going to automatically and naturally share with others. And so that's the key takeaway that I have. Of course, a few other things, as already mentioned, Bob Proctor. You know, the key quote for that I took away was, you know, the conversation between John F. Kennedy and Werner von Braun. And John F. Kennedy said, what do we need to do to build a rocket big enough to take us to the moon? And the answer was the will to do it. All we need is the will to do it, you know. So yes, we need to make a decision, we're going to do it, and then figure out a strategy. And the strategy might be to tweak the program slightly, to make it more palatable to our target audience, and to know that IM Academy is working right now as we speak to help us with that messaging. Of course, with Seth Bernstein, guy by the age of 18 arrested 31 times, right? Talk about a bad start in life. Today worth over 12 billion, as we said, hedge fund management of over 400 billion. He had an incredible story. But what's significant about this story is that the founder and president of I Am Academy, and the name just skipped out of my brain, Chris Terry. His story is the same thing. Started with nothing, a troubled kid. Someone kind of pulled him up and said, look, I'm going to show you a skill. And starting from nothing, he became very successful, learning how to trade. Seth Bernstein's story is the same, but why Seth was there is because Chris Terry, about a year ago, started thinking, I need to surround myself with billionaires who can help me to lift to the next level. And so he, without boring you with the details, it was really interesting to hear how that our leader, founder, president is wanting to grow. And over the last year, got to know personally several billionaires, and of course Seth was there as a keynote speaker as well. Lots of over 25 new C25s. When I say new, that means they weren't 6 months ago. They are now C25s, 12 new C50s, I counted approximately. But the other key highlight is that when they introduced, and they called them educators, this is literally terminology they call them, educators now, and they introduced the educators, brought them to the table. The wildest cheering I've ever seen. And I'm telling you, like, the crowd, different sections of the crowd, some of the educators are Spanish or French, and you could tell if they're French, the French part of the audience. It was like a soccer game. But what I found interesting is that these people are celebrating the people that are helping them to be successful at trading. And that this is very, very much part of who I Am Academy is. So we said over 85% of I Am members are just traders, and you can feel it, you can see it in the room. And I was pretty impressed as well with the variety of traders, people I haven't even heard of, that are being cheered right off the stage. So this is just some of the new chairmen, 25 and 50s, and the picture of that. I wish I had pictures of the audience, but I don't. And of course, the key takeaways for me is mindset really matters. I've got to get past the disappointments of the past and realize, what, if you want to focus on that, you're never going to learn from it. And it was obvious, like Ralph shared, this is different. People have never done network business before. In the space of 2 years, are achieving great success with a product where the product itself teaches people about money and how to make money with their own money. So this is very different. It's just whatever hang up we have about sharing I Am with others, we need to just get over it. And also, specific serious goals that we need to make. So, Andrea and I are making very serious, specific goals. I have to say, I was sort of halfway in, with excuses that I'm really, really busy, and I'm still very, very busy, but I'm all in. I'm all in with you and to help this team to grow and to be able to, whatever gaps are in the system, we want to fill the gaps so that everyone gets what they need to be able to move forward. And of course, surrounding yourself with quality people, that is very key. You saw that right throughout the program, but creating a plan and executing the plan. So some of the things I wanted to make sure everyone knows. This gentleman, it's not a great picture, I apologize about that, but that's Alex Morton, Chairman Elite. And there's a certain level, Chairman 500 is as high as you can go with the official comp plan. That means they're making 500,000 or more per month, US. When they say Chairman Elite, it's something above that. And approximately the last time we spoke to him, about just under 1 million a month income. Now he's 31 years old, and he's an amazing, ordinary person. This is the part that was, so you can imagine how many people he has on his team. Probably, I'm guessing, at least a third or more of the 8,000 people attending are on his team, just by virtue of the numbers. But the fact is, he carved out time for Canada, The Canadian group had a small group meeting, and he had a conversation, and it slipped out. So I want this to slip out for everyone on this call. Very soon he's coming to Edmonton, and so I believe it's going to be Vancouver and Edmonton, 2 spots that he's going to land to do the equivalent of a Super Saturday or some kind of big event. This guy is amazing, and so if you're in Edmonton or anywhere near Edmonton within 500 miles, so I would say you want to start developing a strategy to build a team in Edmonton and to bring as many people as you can, whether they're traders learning about trading, or if they also are open to the idea of building a business. This Alex Morton is going to be there. Ralph, if you can think of any key things that he said, like I said, I have the recording. In fact, I do have the recording. What I'm going to do for everyone, this recording of Alex, will send it out to everyone so you can listen to it and kind of get a feel for what I'm talking about. Super successful, super normal, just a normal, nice guy in the space of just over 3 years. Now, Alex is the person that enrolled Greg and Melanie. We're that close to Greg and Melanie, okay? So we're very close to the top leader in all of the IM Academy. And as far as I'm concerned, Greg and Melanie are by far the best that we've ever worked with in the industry. If you're building on the IBO side, building a team, we have the best. And at the same time, I believe part of the strategy we're going to have is we're going to nuance the program a little bit so that our recruiting is going to be very focused on inviting people to the trading platform to learn how to make money with money you already have. This is another key event. Save the date. This is now for Calgary. So one of the things I noticed with the team right now is that a lot of the events, we find out about it with short notice, right? So we're going to try to change that as much as we can to find out sooner when the key leaders are coming so you can plan to bring people to this event. So March 28th, Melanie, of course, is they are Chairman 10 leaders, Melanie and Greg, but I think it'll be just Melanie with some of the key leaders here in Alberta doing a Super Saturday. And what I really think is most super about these Super Saturdays, I know this is a little bit of a rabbit trail, but it's like I used to be part of a company where our Super Saturdays were 2 days long. So, because it was that complicated. And our Super Saturdays are 3 hours long. It's that easy, right? So I love that. It doesn't consume a lot of time. It's mostly good traders talking about trading and their success in trading, but also building a team. So again, usually these events are split into 2 parts. The first part is trading focused. The second part is IBO, or building a team focused. So some people, they can even step out when we're done with the trading focus. Invite everyone to this because, again, you want to understand that we're wanting people to understand that there's really huge success that people are having with trading. Some of the top traders in all of IM Canada are right here in Calgary, and I expect they're going to be central to this presentation talking about their success. And of course, we're going to also be, one of the things we're going to add to the program is trading training, okay? So starting with Goldcup and harmonics, but we want everyone to learn the basics, and I'm going to introduce Jason just briefly. Jason is the first person I spoke to, invited to the team. He's a very good friend, and he's doing an event coming up here. Sorry, I just wanted to bring it up. So give me a second. That's not it either. There we go. Jason's trading team update. So Jason and I are kind of on the same wavelength. Both of us are building teams, but both of us felt we're going to try to focus on really getting people to have fun trading. We are here just to show people how to make money with money they already have. And it's got to be fun as well. And so we're going to try to have a very simplified program to get people going with trading. I'll be sharing more detail with that But I wanted just to introduce Jason as well. Jason is the person that set up the Zoom call. And Jason happens to have an event tomorrow. It's probably too short a notice for most of you. Technically, if you do have a person in Calgary, you can still invite the persons to the event. And that's the live business interview, Thursday, March the 5th. That's tomorrow from 7:30 to 8:30. And of course, the location is the Frontier Solution. So we'll actually try to find the address for it. Oh, there it is.
Just
Good.
lower there.
Yeah, there it is. Everything you need to know is right there. If you have somebody in Calgary, I can almost guarantee you get them to this meeting, they're going to have a different feel of this is mostly about the trading platform. And if you want to make money introducing this platform to the marketplace, there's huge opportunity as well, but we're going to keep it very focused. So Jason, just tell us a little more about this event and a little bit about your experience in trading. I think that's probably the key thing I wanted everyone to hear because, you know, with our people, I've got some people on my team that are having incredible success with trading. So I'm going to pull it up there. Crushed February, growing the account. And so, Jason, go ahead and speak to it. And thanks for joining us today. And I should say, Jason, awesome friend, was with me and Prius Deals. And we just, if we're going to do something together, we do it together. And just really more knowledgeable on the technical side and on the trading side. Everything I need to know, I asked Jason. So thanks so much, Jason. Good to have you here with us tonight.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, Roy. Yeah, and for those who haven't met me in person, I've been to most of the local Calgary events, but yeah, I fell in love with this this company foremost from the aspect of I wanted to learn a skill that I could do on my own time and learn how to grow an income out of nothing, right? I know I'm not opposed to network marketing. I've been involved with Roy and other people in various projects, but I just had a lot on my plate. I own 2 other businesses. I didn't think I had time to do anything more. In fact, if it wasn't Roy, I probably wouldn't have given him the time of day at the time. But when he told me that, you know, there's an educational company, an educational platform that was teaching us how to trade, I'm like, okay, that's intriguing, but it's still a lot of time investing in watching a lot of videos. And sure, there's some great software tools, but it's a lot different from taking the software tools and the video training and actually applying it and getting it, right? And so I found that, you know, for me, the kicker, even considering coming on board, the kicker for me was the live educators. And for those who have been on the platform long enough now and understand the value of those live educators, it's priceless. So I was able to jump on and just, you know, didn't know what I was doing, just followed along every day since the first week of November. I've tuned in, haven't missed a day yet, but just tuned in an hour a day. Well, a lot more days I've done more than an hour, but for the most part, it's an hour a day. I'm just following along, and it took me about 6-7 weeks before it really started to sink in, where I was feeling comfortable in my demo trading. Of course, this was also during the Christmas holidays, so we had a little bit of downtime and break time there. But essentially, you know, come January, I said, okay, I'm in. I got a real account funded, but I was still kind of playing around with a couple of different strategies, even though my primary strategy was going to be revolving around the pivots tool and following Bas Kujman. But I was also following, you know, a few other things. And what I soon realized is the key takeaway for me for having success was showing up every day, you know, for whatever time we can, showing up and developing a bit of a trading plan, which was, okay, cut out all the, let's try this today, let's try that tomorrow, let's be all over the map, stick with one, get to know one. And once I did that, by the end of January, I was feeling like I really knew the pivot strategy, and I was playing around with gold. And I'll be honest, I, you know, lost a lot playing with something I didn't fully understand on my real account instead of the demo account. So February 1st, I kind of hit the reset button, said no more distractions. I'm going to focus on one strategy with this account through Bass. And literally 83 trades made in the month of February. 81 of them were successful. And to be perfectly transparent, the 2 trades I got wrong were actually Bass's London daybreak strategy, not the daily strategy that I was doing. So had I just not done any London daybreaks, I would have been 100% accurate. Now, for me, that's an anomaly. I know a lot of people are saying, oh, that was a good month. And yeah, it was a great month, and not every month is going to be like that. But the key takeaways for me was, number one, the trading plan that I put together. I followed it to a T. I got behind. I realized I was behind. I made more trades. I was a little bit more focused on what my goals were, and I was able to just claw my way back to the point where the last day of the month, I was $30 short, or put it into percentages, I was about 5-6% short of hitting my monthly target on the last day of the month, and I just grinded it out and made my 5 or 6% on that last day. And that, for those who've been trading a little while, that's huge. 2% a day is typical. 3% was my target. I had to literally, the last 2 days I did 5.5 and 6.5% the last 2 days of the month to hit my goal. Anyway, my point, I won't go on all night, but my point is, having a trading plan was really key to understanding where I was going and what I needed to achieve. And the second thing was the confidence of realizing I could trade on my own. It's taken me 4 months, but now I feel like I can just trade any time of day, anywhere, with the pro, without the pro, doesn't matter. I know that if I need a few more trades, I just wake up in the morning, make a few trades, come home from work at night, make a few trades, whatever I need to do. So my encouragement to everyone who is either at the beginning of this journey or still trying to figure this out, number one, show up. Number two, stick with one thing, get comfortable with it, and reach out to people like myself, Roy, and other people around us. We're all in this together, and we're here to help each other, succeed and win on the trading game first and foremost. Obviously, the sharing it, honestly, that just comes so naturally now, because the confidence of trading makes it easy to talk about. You're still muted, Roy. Are you talking?
Oh, that's Stan. Stan, you're not muted.
There we go. Stan, can you please mute yourself? Thank you. And I'm just going to see if I can mute him on this side.
Yeah, I can take care of that. Hold on.
Okay, got it. Okay, so thanks, Jason. And I was just asking, do you still have room for tomorrow night's meeting, or is that full?
There may be a few spots. I mean, we only have room for maybe 20 people, and we got about 15, I think. But,
Okay.
There's always people that maybe don't show up at the last second. But honestly, this is our first one. Our goal, first one that I'm going to be presenting, or we are going to be presenting, and kind of just, our goal is to really, keep the presentation to a minimum, 10 to 20 minute presentation, but more focused on, hey, everyone pull out your phone, let's get the app, let's experience a trade or two together, and just be a lot more hands-on, so that when people come in, it's not just a presentation they're going to glaze over if they don't like something that we said. I really feel passionate that the trading is the key for success on both fronts. Whether you're just trading or whether you're building a business, you gotta accept the product, you gotta love the product if you want to be successful in either side.
Excellent. Thanks, Jason. So there's Jason's email address, jason@contactengage.com. There's the location of the meeting. So if you have somebody in Calgary, you can invite them to it. Like I said, it'll be Jason and I presenting tomorrow night. So that should work out fantastic.
I want to share one more quick tidbit, if I may, Roy. I posted this on the Free from the Rat Race Facebook group yesterday or the day before, but it's a key point that I heard from some people who had joined the business but not done anything, or they were on the fence. We've all been sharing screenshots from our phone on that Facebook wall, or we've been sharing them to friends directly by sending them a text message. And what I've learned is there's people seeing these screenshots of maybe a whole screen of blue trades, good trades, winning trades. But on our demo accounts, we're showing, $2 here, $3 here, like they're little tiny sliver wins, which for someone who's not in the business yet, in the trading aspect yet, it's somewhat insignificant. In fact, I even heard directly from a few people saying they were turned off because they just looked at it and said, oh, that doesn't excite me, because all I'm seeing is, winning trades for a whole week of trading of $15 or something. And what I realized is people are maybe not getting the full vision of what that really means. And so, yeah, we're trying to show them a bunch of wins and get them excited about that. But I think the better conversation to have is is take away the dollar figure. I actually posted some screenshots of my stats, but I actually blurred out all the dollar figures and I just showed percentages. And I emphasized that we shouldn't be excited about what dollar figure it is, but be excited the fact that we made 2% growth per day or 3% growth per day. And on a monthly basis, you saw that in my email there, my monthly growth total, my account grew by 73.41%. Now, I don't care what amount of money you have in your bank account, whether it's $100, $1,000, or $10,000, 73.41% growth should get everyone excited. And that's what I think I need to get people thinking about is talk about the percentage and tell them, do the math and apply it to whatever amount of money you see yourself working with in the future.
Yeah, very good. Thanks, Jason. That's an excellent point. And remember, some of the top traders, they start with 40, 50 bucks, and they achieved success by starting with what they have, and then just multiply. So,
is it okay? Is it okay, Roy, if I jump in there just one second?
Yeah, absolutely.
I absolutely love what Jason just said, and it's actually a key beyond just the way that we promote it to other people, because generally speaking, people have an emotional attachment to money, and so when they start learning how to trade and they're looking at their trades, they see the dollar value of the trade, and they often make a decision about what they're going to do with that trade based on the dollar value. They'll have anxiety if the dollar value is high and it's in the red, or they'll have a lot of excitement or sometimes even greed if it's high and it's in the blue. And when they're looking at dollar values, when I hear people telling me about their trading and they're like, oh, I made 50 bucks on this trade and lost 30 bucks on that trade and whatever, I know that deep down inside, they're actually more like gambling, because the decisions that they're making about their trading are emotionally driven because they're looking at it in terms of dollar value. When people can learn to look at their trades and look at the number in terms of a percentage, it's like a little emotional hack to get past your fear and greed, because most people don't have an emotional reaction to a percentage. It's not how we look at any of our finances in life. And so it's just this really unique thing where, if our goal is 3% a day, like Jason was saying, and we've got some open blue trades and we look at it and calculate that it's our 3%, sometimes we, if depending on the type of trade, we don't necessarily have to wait for it to hit the take profit. We can just close our 3% out in blue and go home for the day. And be satisfied with that, because we've seen the compound charts where we know that 3% gets us to a fantastic goal. And if we've done that for the day, we've done our part and we can move on. And so, hopefully that's not a confusion to what Jason was talking about, but I've just seen it be a really important factor in people's growth.
Yeah, very good. Thanks, Ralph. And so there's some really great success. I'm looking forward to being able to introduce you to some of the others on our team that are having also very good success, and with the trading itself and key things that they've learned. And of course, the platform we have, you've probably seen this slide, and there's lots of different options. And one of the conclusions I've made talking to a number of people that are on this call right now is that if people get introduced to everything, it's confusing, and there's so much here that you don't even know where to start. And what happens is when you go to a meeting, you're doing maybe pivots because you heard about Bass. You go to a meeting, somebody says, "Oh, it's unbelievable! I'm doing steady," and so you say, "Oh, maybe I'll do steady instead, or maybe I'll do vibrata." And if you go all over the place, it's not going to lead to a good result, right? So that's very, very apparent and common that I'm hearing from a lot of different people. And so you've got so many different options, and so we're going to adjust the strategy as to how we get people started. There's two key things we're going to do. Number one, we're going to create a landing page that's a little bit different than the current one, okay? And it's for our team. If you want to use this, it's going to be slightly nuanced from what we have with the Freedom Revolution. It's going to say, I call it the opt-in landing page. And the first choice is, I just want to learn about the education program to teach me about making money with my money and to make money while I'm learning, right? Those are the two key things. We make money with our own money and we make money while we're learning. And so something like that, we'll phrase it in such a way, people, I just want, it's like when I go to a store and somebody comes up to, can I help you? I tell them, I'm just looking. So that's, people do not want to be pressured into a network deal. But if you show them the IM Academy and they just look at the IM Academy, that allows them to feel like they're not going to be bothered with all the other stuff that they don't want to look at. And so we're going to create a landing page that starts with the education program, or they can choose, I'd like to hear about the education program, how to make money with your own money. Okay, that I have a wording breakdown there. And also how to make money by promoting the world's biggest online education platform of its kind. So that's rough wording, obviously. So people can say A or B. Most people will say A. And if you find somebody that presses B, then they go right to the Freedom Revolution site with Melanie, right? They go right there and they're going to hear the full presentation where they have both being emphasized. And the idea here is that we want, like, the common feedback from people is that if you talk on, if people are hearing both, all they hear is the thing that they don't want to do, instead of hearing the thing that they really need to focus in on. And so a couple of people mentioned too that they use a video, that this person's video, and I listened to it, and sure enough, it's almost all about the trading platform and how fantastic the trading platform to teach people how to make money with their money. And they're having really, really good success to use that one as the initial seed to get people to say yes to IM Academy. So we're going to create that opt-in landing page. Jason is the master builder of that. We'll make that available if you want to use that. And then we're also going to, and again, this is totally up to you, but when Jason and I are talking to people or others on our team, key leads, when we're getting people started with trading, we're going to give more direct guidance as what to do, okay? And then we got this from Bryce Thompson, and I have a P missing his name. It's Thompson, who's a C25. You know, he's 23 years old. I don't know what he did with the rest of his life. He's only at a C250. I'm being sarcastic. $250,000 a month, and almost all his people are university students, okay? And he has a strategy for getting people started fast and easy with trading. And all it is people sign up with the platinum package. They're university students. They don't have as much money, so they don't sign up with the elite. Platinum plus Goldcup. And Goldcup is a very specific tool that he likes to use, because he says the trading success on that platform is about 80%, and it's an app. So you can download into your smartphone. You can do it by way of email to your smartphone where you go online, or you can do it by an app where you just cut and paste. I have an app with swipe trades. Goldcup has a success rate about 20% bigger than swipe trades. So that's the practical reason. And this is the point Bryce says. Look, if you get people started very quickly with having success with Goldcup, then they're going to also do something, and I don't have it written down here, but within the platinum package is something called harmonics. And harmonics, which I meant to type in here, very important to know this. Harmonics is the flagship software invented by the founder and CEO of IM Academy. He created this. He made tens of millions of dollars. I understand over $100 million profits by being a trader. And almost everyone that's a live trader on the IM Academy started with harmonics. And harmonics has within the Academy 400 series teaches you to do harmonics. So, so if you're a platinum member, why not start with what everyone else started with? Do Goldcup, you experience success, start with harmonics, and everything you're learning on harmonics is going to be very important later if you do pivots like Jason is doing and a few others on my team, or if you do DeLorean or whatever else you're doing, everything you're learning in harmonics. It's like the foundation. And so I figured it made perfect sense to me, rather than throwing people into the huge field of options and everyone gets lost. A lot of us have been. Instead of doing that, get people very focused. Platinum, Gold Cup, harmonics. That's where you start. Gold Cup gives you immediate success with trades that are given to you. Just cut and paste, literally cut and paste, cut and paste. And they're delivering 2 to 3% per week on these trades, per day on average, pardon me, with a handful of trades. So university students can get a message, and they can cut and paste in 2 minutes, and it's done. And they only have about 6 or 7 such trades per week. So everyone who's busy can do Gold Cup. And if you learn harmonics, the foundation to learning everything else. So those are the 2 nuances of adjusted strategies that we've been talking about, thinking about, and we're going to be promoting very heavily with our teams. When people say, how do I get started? I'm going to say, do what Bryce Thompson does, 23 years old, fastest growing team. He's got university students that have all kinds of distractions. Gold Cup gets them going. Harmonics, the training program is fantastic within the platform. It's part of the academy, the 400 series, and you have tons of live traders who do harmonics, etc. So that's something to look forward to. Now I want to just bring on someone who was at the Bryce Thompson event, and Bryce, by the way, is not part of the Canadian team. He's going to visit Canada on a regular basis, probably all of our universities in Canada. You're going to have Bryce Thompson show up and talk to university kids, but you might as well take advantage. Whenever he's here, we'll jump into his meetings, bring people there. And so we're going to introduce to you now someone that jumped on. Josh Crato, I believe is the name. I think that's the pronunciation. When I looked at the spelling, I would have done something completely different with that. But Josh is part of the Edmonton team, joined right after Bryce came to Edmonton. So he joined after listening to Bryce. And Josh, maybe if you can just share with us in 3 minutes, we're going to let you talk more later, just because we went a little bit longer than expected. I wanted you just to share with us your experience with Gold Cup, and just whatever else is on your heart as far as what you're experiencing with the IM Academy. Josh from Edmonton, good to have you online.
Thanks, Roy. So as Roy said, I started trading right after the Bryce Thompson meeting. Family friends with Roy and Andrea, so that's how we got involved. And they invited us out to this event that he was hosting. Great guy, really young, has a really solid team with him. And they are making a ton of money. So when he was showing what he's making, I was like, well, a little older than that with a bit more life experience, I'm sure I can figure it out and be making a lot of money as well. So his big thing that he talked about was Gold Cup. It's a tool. I don't know if I can screen share here. No, all right. I guess I can't share the screen, but Gold Cup essentially is a cut and paste. When you go, so if you go into Gold Cup, if you're on your IM Center and you go into the strategies, you can actually just click Gold Cup. It'll come up and it'll give you alerts for upcoming trades that are done by masters. So I only follow the strategy of Masters Teacup on it, which is literally professionals who make millions of dollars doing this. It posts trades. They give you your entry point, the type of trade, your take profit lines, and your stop losses. So last month they did 25 trades and 23 of them were winners, and most of them catch minimum of 30 pips. For those of you who are trading, that's the points in percentage, and that's actually how you're making money off of it. So yeah, catching 30 pips, if you're at a 0.01, that's $3 per trade. I've had some great success with it. Following the rules that they set, you're going to make money. I've also had some trades where I did not follow the rules because of my previous success with it. And I was like, oh, I don't need to put the stop loss in. This is a sure thing. It's from the pros. And lost money pretty substantially too. So as long as you're playing by the rules that they set out, you're going to make money.
Yeah.
It's got a 90%
Do you want him to show a screen real quick, Roy? Do we have a few minutes?
Sure, go ahead. Let's just do that a couple of minutes. We're going to let Josh share a lot more detail next week, by the way. He's going to show us the detail of how to get Gold Cup going, get yourself set up so you can develop, download Gold Cup between now and next week and get ready for it. But that's our recommended strategy is to do Gold Cup. And let's give it to Josh for a minute if we can, and that'll be fantastic.
Yeah, try now, Josh.
Perfect. So here we have the IM Center.
I don't think we're seeing you yet.
Yeah, I've enabled both your screens to be shared at the same time, but if you want, I'll turn Roy's off temporarily. Hold on.
Yeah, just turn mine off temporarily. Let everyone see Josh, yeah.
How's that?
Can you guys see it now?
You guys should be seeing it.
I see something that says Zoom.
Yeah, we don't see his screen.
See it now?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I see his screen. You see it?
So it says the center, discover the simplest way to learn.
Yeah.
Perfect. So that's your IM products. Scroll down, you'll get the list of all the scanners and as well the apps. So I haven't personally used the Gold Cup app. I've only used the scanner. So if you click Gold Cup, you click the blue wording Gold Cup again, it'll bring you to this, just the actual app on a desktop. In the top left, you see strategies. Like I said, I've only used Masters Teacup because that's copy and paste trades. Click Masters Teacups. Just gonna move this. As you can see here in the H1, so these are the alerts that it'll actually send you via email or the app. And it'll say, new trade for XAU USD under H1. So you click H1, XAU USD, and there's your trade perfectly there. You can double click it for all the information. You've got a buy limit, with an entry price, your stop loss, and your take profit. Plug that into your MT4 and you've got your trade.
Perfect. Yeah.
There's 4 more active trades under H4 right now.
And it's only showing the double check marks, which means it's a good trade to enter.
Yeah, we're gonna do this again next week, where we're gonna actually have a tutorial about this topic specifically, everyone. So if you're thinking this is a lot of information, I get it. I'm a boomer, so it takes a little longer to absorb all this. But we're gonna do a very specific tutorial next week that has to do with Gold Cup. So our recommendation is upgrade your Platinum to add a Gold Cup. If you're already doing a few, you might want to just eliminate a couple. Master Harmonics and Gold Cup, and when you're ready to do more, then that's when you do more, when you've already mastered the other 2. So that's going to be a go forward plan. So Josh, congratulations. Thanks so much for sharing with us, but you took the bull by the horn, listened to a guy who knew what he was talking about and just ran with it, and thank you very much for helping us out. Joshua is a member of the Canadian military, everyone. So thank you for your service as well, sir. And a very busy guy, and I think there's going to be hundreds and hundreds of wealthy military service people very soon hearing about IM Academy as a way to make some extra money. That's going to be fantastic. Thanks, Josh. Very, very good to have you. Yeah. Okay, so again, the wrap-up is, I want to do a quick wrap-up here because a couple of the key things to know about. This is the subfolder in my iPhone that I have.
Share your screen again if you want.
Oh yeah, right. Okay, I have to remember how to do that. Share screen. There we go. Are we good now?
Yep.
Good. So this right now, these are a few things everyone needs to remember when you're talking to people about the IM Academy. Ask permission, but invite them to join Freedom from the Rat Race, right? That's very, very key. And that Freedom from the Rat Race Facebook page. When they become members, invite people, new members, enroll them with freedomrevolution.ca, and this is a fantastic system and tool, gives so much information to people. So I'm not saying anything tonight that would in any way want us to move away from Freedom Revolution. We're just going to supplement Freedom Revolution with one landing page so that if people want to just hear about trading, they're going to hear about trading and that's it, okay? And then there's, if you're a member, and this is for all of you, if you're a member, make sure that you have Telegram. Telegram is an app that looks like this. And if you have Telegram, make sure that you search and find, oh, I am a chairman, okay? Because that's Melanie and Greg's channel. So they call them channels in Telegram. It's their channel. And that'll keep you posted on all the events that are happening in Western Canada, wherever they are. These are absolutely critical items, right? Another critical item is always make sure that brand new people that they join Freedom Revolution Facebook page. Again, events are posted there as well. So the reason why I mention this is because my old school way of doing things is we used to create emails and we'd send the emails out of all the upcoming events coming up. That's what my brain says. That's the right way to do it. And of course, these younger people are saying that's not the right way. That's the old school way. Stop it, Roy. Get used to using Telegram and the Facebook page. Let's stretch into the new world of, and it works. Like once you get used to using Telegram and Facebook, you can see all the events that are coming up. And what we're going to try to do is just, again, email you with some of the key events, but we could not possibly keep up with all the events. You want to make sure you have this. The other thing I want to show you is if you don't have this app right here, it's called the I Am Academy. If you're a member, download this academy right here. This is where all the pip talks are. So all the traders send signals out. They used to use Telegram. They're not allowed to use Telegram anymore. They've created their own internal Telegram, and it's in the I Am Academy. So make sure you download the I Am Academy app into your smartphone. You have to have that, and also a calculator to see how you're doing after every week as far as your returns. So I have swipe trades. You don't have to worry about swipe trades. I recommend it is the app called Goldcup, and foundational, of course, is MetaTrader, Telegram, and I Am Academy. So those are, I didn't know about this app called I Am Academy until about just 3 weeks ago. And I thought, why didn't anyone tell me? Well, we're telling you, you got to have it, download it, and that's it. We're going to have, probably a week from today, another webinar. We're all about Goldcup. Okay, how to get set up with Goldcup. If you're not a member yet, become a member. We're going to make sure that you get set up with Goldcup, and within a few hours, you can be up and trading and experience trading success. So somebody's not muted again, so but that's just it. I think we're done. So everyone, thanks very much for joining us this evening. Tons of great things from London. The next event is in Houston. Jason, did you get that?
September 4th.
Okay, here it is.
Yeah, it's in the chat.
September 4th, 5th, and 6th.
Everyone can check the link in the chat.
Thank you very much, Roy, for this. It was great.
VIP is general, so that's quite a bit cheaper. A few of these that they exactly on the same wavelength, the great things that we heard, but also the things that we want to be able to just make it easier for people to get started. And we're going to get it done, everyone. So we really appreciate your time tonight. And next week, Gold Cup. Let's all get started together with that if you haven't done it yet. And have a great rest of the week. Goodbye, everyone.
Thank you.
I'll leave the chat open here for a minute if anyone has questions.
Thanks, Roy.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks, Brenda, Judy, and I know there's a couple other ladies here that I met. All of you, thanks so much for the privilege of meeting you and working together now. We're going to be doing some great things together.